Hello water signs, welcome to your new moon reading for March 2019. We have a new moon in Pisces at 15 degrees that happens on March 6th at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. A day before, Mercury goes retrograde on March 5th at the final degree of Pisces. This is a wonderful time to go with the flow. Don't force anything. You basically have permission from the universe to take the path of least resistance. And it's important during this time that you honor your needs, that you center, and maintain your healthy boundaries. Please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, get notifications, follow me on Instagram at LunaSyncTarot. Let's get started. Let's sync up. This is who you are. Daughter of Cups. Really feeling very, very Piscean, which is very appropriate for the new moon in Pisces. So feeling very inspired, taking time for yourself to be sort of like dreamy and really watery and ethereal and sensitive, and in general just very emotionally inspired. So that's who you are right now. This is the context. It's the Sun of Discs. Might be lacking a little bit of focus. Yeah, that makes sense. This is what needs to be integrated. Working through anxieties and hardships and fears by doing sort of routine physical tasks. Sorry guys, you might have noticed that the perspective has changed. My battery died, so I had to switch the battery out. But let's continue. So in what needs to be, in the obstacle position, what needs to be integrated is the Five of Discs. And this is somebody who is experiencing some anxiety, experiencing some hardship in her life, and she is working her feelings about that through physical activity. So whether you're kneading dough, or you're getting a massage, or you're working on art, or you are cleaning the house. I know a lot of people clean the house when they feel anxious and upset. Really engaging in that activity to work through some of your feelings, some of your fears and anxieties. This is what needs to be integrated. So maybe you've been looking for a solution to how to deal with some of your emotions for a while. You might try new things that involve your body. Speaking of the body, this is your body, your foundation. It's the Priestess of Discs. This is somebody who is very grounded. She's also collected, you can see, not collected, she's also connected to her divine source. And like, she's connected to her third eye. She's having some intuitive flashes, some psychic insights. You can see there's like a marijuana plant in the back here, so she's not against using hallucinogenics to connect with her her psychic knowings, but she's very earthy. She's like the corn goddess. This is a setting in Mexico. There's corn in the background here. It's the Priestess of Discs. So it's like the queen. You know, she's the queen of her body. She's the queen of all things natural and grounded and earthy and good. And this is your foundation. Even though your heart's here, feeling very dreamy and inspired and kind of detached and illusory, your body is like super grounded, which is really positive. All right, in your past, we had some sort of victory in your past. You caught the wave and you rode it to shore, like you were in the moment. You went with the flow, and you felt victorious. It's like a sort of like a feeling of emotional success, like that feeling of like pride in your success, and just feeling happy, very optimistic. That's in your past. This is what you think about it all. The Three of Cups. Yeah, so you might want to be going out and having some fun right now with your friends. Like, there's a strong connection between the Daughter of Cups and the Three of Cups, in that here you're feeling very inspired in the situation in which you are alone. It's like you've retreated in order to cultivate this space where you can feel inspired. Here you're celebrating with others in a very inspired way. This feels like, these friends are your muses, or you are the muse. Like, these are the three muses. They are celebrating together. They are engaging in ritual. They're using music and the elements, water. It's very mythological. It's very inspired. And it's emotional. So this is what you think about it all. Like, maybe this is just what you want to be doing right now. And then in the future, ooh, holy shit, we have the Tower. Dang, I didn't expect that. Something's coming your way in terms of like a shift, like a dramatic shift in the way that you see yourself, or a dramatic shift in your identity, a major transformation in your life, like old belief systems, old structures shattering to the ground, and experiencing flashes of illumination. Maybe this is the ultimate flash of illumination that you're chasing here. The inspiration that you're cultivating here, resulting in this flash of illumination, represented by the Tower. And it shifts everything. It shifts the way that you think about yourself. It disintegrates old identities. It disintegrates old structures, foundational structures that have supported you for a long time. I see that you have the strength and the groundedness to walk through this progression from your past, your current, and the future in a very grounded way. And again, I mean, she's grounded, but she's also using some hallucinogenics here. I'm not suggesting that you do. I'm just saying there's an element of inspiration and illumination and psychic insight in this card as well, even though it's the earthiest of suits in the deck, and the most grounded of suits in the deck. Okay, interesting. This is how you see yourself. So, I guess you might have experiencing something pretty sad. Either you are trying to escape from feelings of depression, grief, and sadness. You see this as your struggle. And you might, in a negative sense, see yourself as it and have taken it very personally. Or you are seeing that you've gone through some difficult times, but you have these 3 cups left standing, and you're focusing on what you do have in your life that still remains. Either way, I would encourage you to not take the hardships that you experience in life personally. And I would recommend, it's sometimes easier said than done, but I would recommend that the way that you navigate through feelings of depression or sadness or grief, one of the tools that you have is to practice gratitude and to focus on what is positive in your life, what still remains. Funnel your energy in that direction. But you're feeling a little depressed, and I see that you think of yourself as a depressed person. Okay. In your hopes and your fears. 7 of Swords. This is like a sort of a deception. This is like the fox is strategizing to get inside of the hen house. Like, how am I going to get in there? And you see he's put his swords in the wall so that he can climb over. it's like a tricky maneuver, a tricky deception. Maybe you're fearing that you will be the victim of such strategy. Keep your eyes out. Keep your eyes peeled. This is one of my least favorite cards in the deck. I don't want to put like a sense of alarm into this reading, but I get the sense that you're already like tuned into this and paying attention. It's in your hopes and your fears. Like I think you're paying close attention because you hope that you'll catch it before the fox is able to do much damage. But you are fearing that somebody is trying to manipulate or deceive, or there's some sort of deceptive coyote type trickster energy around you. Let's see, in your house you have the Devil reverse. So you're really releasing yourself from bondage to something, and I'm getting the sense that it's an institution or it's an old belief system. It's either a church or I don't know, ideas about time, ideas about work, ideas about like conditioning, releasing yourself from these really, really old formative conditioning thoughts or institutions that just do not serve you anymore. So that's the energy. That's what's in your house. So that's really, really positive. And then your outcome. The Five of Wands. I'm going to keep pulling until I receive a major arcana or until I pull 3. Six of Wands. Good, because we need a healthy dose of some fiery energy here. Two of Discs. And 10 of Cups. All right. So, the Five of Wands, conflict. You might be trying to learn how to there's a surge of energy. There's a surge of conflicted, change-oriented type of energy, and it's abundant, and it's hard to manage, and it's hard to contain, and there's a lot of people coming at you. These people aren't necessarily viciously engaged in conflict, but they all have differing opinions. They're not collaborative at this moment. They're all testing out their ideas and their skills, and it's a lot. It's a lot of energy. It's sort of like, like energy overload, like very overstimulating. I get the feeling. Just, and hard to sort of process, and that's in your outcome, the Five of Wands. And then we have the Six of Wands. I see, though, that you're going to be successful in stepping into your power and managing your energy in a very powerful way. So there might be this conflict in a lot of people with a lot of energy, but you're going to learn how to manage that conflict. You're going to learn how to manage that change, and you're going to do it with from the center of your power, with your source energy intact. Really tap in, dig deep, tap into that energy, and focus it in a very intentional, strong way. You're going to be balanced. You'll have a lot of responsibilities coming up in the future here in your outcome. A lot of balls in the air, a lot of juggling, a lot of minutia, day-to-day responsibilities, routines, and you will be grounded in managing all of your responsibilities. You have a lot of dreamy energy here. You might lack a little bit of focus, but you also have these two cards here, which are about remaining balanced, remaining grounded in a very earthy, physical type way. So that's good. You have a nice mix of energies here. And then finally, we have the Ten of Cups in reverse. So what you need to remember is and this might be speaking directly to the Five of Cups, what you need to remember is that it is a tool that you can use to give thanks, to be, to step into an energy of gratitude about what you still have and what is positive in your life. It is an actual tool that you can use to navigate difficult times. And so I think this card is speaking to the fact that you're very close to moving from one emotional phase to another, and that the missing piece here is that you need to learn how to incorporate gratitude into your way of thinking, into your everyday life. And I would suggest that you get one of those meditation apps that's free and start to do some gratitude meditations so that you can just kind of get into the habit of shifting your thinking in that way. You might already be doing that, which is great. But because it's reversed, I think that's one of your obstacles here. All right, so let's pull a medicine card so that we can identify what your approach should be through all of these, like really, this is a variety of energies, a variety of suits present in this reading. So let's pull an approach card. I work with the medicine cards by Ben and Carson. I use these cards in a very specific way. Basically, I want an organizing principle or advice or an approach to how to navigate a situation. So let's pull an approach for you as you navigate these energies in March. Here we go. Ooh, speaking of the Suit of Cups and water energy, we have the Whale. The Whale is the record keeper of Earth historical records. The keeper of Earth's historical records, if I'm remembering that correctly. It's the final card in this deck. So let's read what it's about. I like that it's upright. I don't pull this card for myself very often. Yeah, it's the record keeper. Whale is very much like a swimming library. Whale carries the history of Mother Earth and is said to have been placed here by the ancients from the dog star Sirius. Biologists say that whale is a mammal and very possibly lived on land millions of years ago. Oh, that's interesting. Really? Huh. I've never heard of it going the other way around. I've heard of sea creatures coming out of the ocean and turning into mammals, but not mammals going into the sea and turning into sea creatures. That's interesting. In tribal legend, whales' move into the ocean happened when the earth shifted and Lemuria, the motherland, went below the waves. So maybe, I don't know, like you got this watery energy here, which you're very comfortable with. And then you have this earth energy here too, which is kind of unusual to see together in this particular way. So it's like that combination of earth and water. All of our petroglyphs speak of the motherland, Mu, and the disaster that brought the red race to North America from the west beyond the great waters. The symbols in the petroglyphs speak of the rivers and mountains crossed by our ancestors when they sought solid ground as the water receded. Whale saw the events that led to the settling of Turtle Island, North America, and has kept the records and knowledge of the motherland alive. It is said that Mu will rise again when the fire comes from the sky and lands in another ocean on Mother Earth. The native medicine people are waiting for this event as the next sign of Earth changes. Earth's children will have to unite and honor all ways and all races in order to survive. Whale medicine people are coded in their DNA to understand that sound frequencies can bring up records in the memories of ancient knowledge. That might be something to pay attention to, sound frequencies. They are usually clairaudient or able to hear both very low and very high frequencies. They are usually also psychically developed and fairly telepathic. Many times, however, they are not awakened to their gifts. Sorry, I lost my place. Many times, however, they are not awakened to their gifts until it is time to use the stored records. Many whale medicine people are able to tap into the universal mind of Great Spirit and have no idea how or why they know what they know. Only later, when they receive confirmation, do they begin to understand how they know or why they received the impressions. If you pulled the whale card, you are being asked to tap into these records and to allow yourself to be sung to by those who have the original language. We are the only creatures who do not have our own unique cry or call. Find yours. Allow your voice to use this sound to release tension or emotion. Whale signals a time of finding your origins, of seeing your overall destiny as coded in your DNA, and of finding the sounds that will release those records. You may never be the same again. After all, you are the melody of the universe, and the harmony is the song of the other creatures. In using your voice to open your memory, you are expressing your uniqueness in your personal sound. As you open to this uniqueness, the animals that are your 9 totems may then send their sounds or calls to you or through you. This will open your personal record so that you may further explore your soul's history and commune with Whale, who carries the history of us all. Good God, that is some deepness. Whew. Wow. Okay, so their sound is really important right now. Sound frequency. I don't know about you, but sometimes when I'm at work, I will search YouTube for the frequency channels, which will have like, high vibration frequency music or happiness frequency music or connect with your inner power frequency music. It's the only kind of music I can really listen to at work because I'm typically very distracted by sound. But these particular channels have, it's like frequencies. So I don't know, maybe that's something for you to explore, tapping into sound frequency, using your voice to channel, using your voice to process stress or anxiety, and using your voice to channel the language of your animal totems. That's pretty intense. Maybe that will resonate with some of you. But I do see this very strong connection here between, how biologists said that the whale moved from the land. This is a land creature, grounded on the earth, into the water and became a sea creature. So there's an interesting connection there. And of course, the record keeper of humanity and of the earth in general, and of animals, like all of the sentient beings on the planet. The whale is the record keeper. So you have this language encoded in your DNA, and it's about unlocking it using your voice to share that language with others. This was such an appropriate reading for the new moon in Pisces. It's very dreamy, very inspired, very deep. Oh boy, very deep. If you liked this reading, please like my channel, subscribe to my channel, click the little bell. You'll get notifications of readings in the future. You can also follow me on Instagram at LunaSyncTarot. Tune in next week. I'm going to be doing love readings for all of the signs. That should be fun. And happy new moon in Pisces. I hope you have a beautiful